bad bitch is a lifestyle, not actually a gender. I think I'm the baddest bitch of them all.
Hello, real ones. I'm Sydney.
It's your boy Alejandro.
And today we are here with
Danny Brown.
Turn Up. How are you feeling today?
Feel great. Blessed to be alive.
What did you eat for breakfast today? You look good.
I don't actually eat breakfast.
Oh.
I intermittent fast, so I don't eat till after 6 p.m.
I feel like breakfast slows you down too a lot of times.
I mean, they say you don't really supposed to eat 3 meals a day. They say that's just some shit they told America.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably fell for the breakfast propaganda because I'm a big breakfast guy personally.
No, breakfast food is great, especially at night.
Yes.
That's the thing about it.
But we appreciate you taking the time to chop it up with you. But real quick, man, I just wanted to ask about your fit. You kind of got like the literal jean jacket combo going on, man. I just wanted to ask about like who made your outfit?
The jacket is done by Doug. He's a stylist I've been working with out of LA. I think he's from New Mexico though. But yeah, I've been working with him for this last album. I just, my algorithm and my Instagram just give me good fashion stuff. So I just seen his page one day and I was actually buying clothes from him. And then he seen my name pop up. Then he hit me up, was like, are you really? Like, yeah, I've been copping. So then I just asked him, like, would you be down to, like, style for my next album? And we just been rocking together ever since. So he been making me, like, custom pieces. This is, like, a custom piece.
That's dope. And then I feel like fashion is such an important part of, like, just creative expression. So what would you say was the creative direction for this album with the fashion?
I wanted to go more like a glam route because the album was so, like, such a trauma dump and so sad. I wanted to be, like, kind of, like, flashy. Just the duality of that, So, yeah, just kind of like a lot of, like, androgynous type pieces and stuff.
The album, as you mentioned, was a bit of a, trauma dump. But what are you doing to take care of yourself these days?
I mean, I'm not drinking and drugging no more, so that's the ultimate one. That was the main thing. I mean, I went to rehab right before we really released it, and just been taking it one day at a time at this point, I'll be at a year sober next month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm 40 years old now. I've been, doing it since I was in my teens,
Your skin looks amazing, by the way.
That's because my girlfriend is a esthetician.
Shout out.
So she don't play about my skin,
And like, what are you doing for fun, like in the meantime,
Fun? I can't say I'm really a fun guy.
Oh.
At this point in my life, I think fun for me is deadly. So I guess I've been working to have fun. Mm-hmm. Back having fun again, making music. To be honest.
Is there a place that you like go, because you know how people when they want to relax, they like unwind and go sit in some fucking nature, like what do you do? What's your place?
To unwind? Mm-hmm. I mean, really, I would say my dogs. I just hang out with I got 2 Chihuahuas.
Are they loud?
One of them's a bit old, going a little blind, so he's pretty chill for the most part, but my girl, she's only like 2 years old, so she's still young and wild, so I just really like chilling with them. I live in Texas now, so sometimes it's too hot to go outside.
Yeah.
I didn't know black people can get burnt. Yeah, I gotta wear tan lotion and shit now. Like that shit's crazy.
What would you say is like the biggest difference between living in Texas versus living in Detroit?
Yeah, it's 2 totally different places, but I mean for me it's more of a healthier lifestyle. I can live there. Growing in Detroit my entire life is just I feel like your environment is what make you. I don't think I could have ever probably got sober if I still lived in Detroit, And then, the weather. Obviously, it gets 60 degrees in Texas and they lose their mind. You know what I'm saying? They can't even drive right.
Southern hospitality, like a big
Yeah, that's a real
thing.
thing. That's a real thing. They are really nice there, I would say that. But yeah, it's just a healthier lifestyle. The food's amazing. I mean, Detroit is, y'all know Chicago, it's probably like 3-4 months out the year you can't even go outside, which was a good thing for me because that's when I'd be at my most creative state. But now it's like it's 108 degrees outside. I'm not going out there, so it's still kind of the same thing. I stay in my room and make music.
What's some advice that you would give to someone that's looking to get sober?
I mean, it's not really advice you can give them. They have to really want to do it themselves. And I feel like if you ask an advice, then you really second guessing. You know what I'm saying? You know in your heart when it's time to give it up, So yeah, for For me, it was. I think the main advice I would tell somebody is don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that was my biggest issue, because as men, sometimes you feel like a bitch if you ask for help or something. Like, oh, I don't got it figured out. I need some help. So once you take that step to ask for help, and then that's when everything, especially if you got people around, that really care about you and can help.
Amen to that. Who are some of those people around you that?
I mean, like
help
my
you?
management, my label. It's hard to find a team, in the music industry. They so used to just trying to make money off you. But they really gave me some time to get myself together before we put this album out and put me back to work, because they could have just been like, forget it, and threw my ass back out on the road. But they was like, held my album up. I was pissed, but I was a psycho, When I think back on it, I'm really blessed that they did that for me,
Yeah, that's really interesting that you said that, because I feel like, especially on like the mainstream side, I feel like a lot of labels are kind of quick to discard rappers, especially the older they get. I know in your past interviews you've kind of talked about how you see yourself doing this to like in your 60s and 70s, and how like there aren't a lot of rappers that are still touring like the Rolling Stones in 70s. People kind of like look at that weird. So, maybe what are your kind of thoughts on that?
I mean, for me, I feel like it's a talent that was God-given. So it's not for me to say when I can stop doing it. So I feel like I'm a vessel, and now that I realize I can use my talent for good to help other people. So I feel like it's his job to tell to when it cut off, when it's over. But for me as a person, I can't say when it's done, because I don't own this talent anyway. So I feel blessed to do it, if anything.
And could you also see yourself later in your career, like, pivoting, like, really crazy and doing some shit, like becoming a farmer or some shit, like?
I wouldn't say a farmer, because I'm not that,
You might have a green thumb, you never know.
I mean, I've just never been down with labor. That's why labor has never been my thing. That's why I do music, so I'm cool with that. I'm blessed to not have to pick up boxes.
Or maybe could you see yourself, like, going, like, a director's route? Because you do have, like, a great life story. Could you see yourself something?
I would say more, I can see myself more curating it on a production side to, help guide younger artists in the right direction, or even just be that voice of reason for them and give them advice more so than anything. Be like Unc, be OG status, I can do that. I wouldn't want to be like having hands-on in someone else's career,
Yeah. And what's some advice that you have for younger artists following in your footsteps that you wish somebody told you?
I would say trust their instinct, but also sometimes people think they know it all. When you really talented and you got like talented people around that can help you, that's when you're like a superhero. Like if we see like somebody like a Kanye, he always pulling other talented people around him and help him get to his vision the way he want to get it. I feel like some artists, they just feel like I know everything, I got it, I know what I need to do. But having like a ill A&R team, or working with other people that are just as talented as you, don't ever close those doors or close those opportunities. So like me now, anybody that I'm inspired by, I want to work with.
Do you think there was ever a point in your career where, like, it was hard to not even just, like, seek help from other people, but, like, maybe even collaborate with other people? Like, just being a talented person, and, like, sometimes there comes an ego with talent.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I definitely was that guy. I think more so for me, it almost feels like you bowing down or something when you ask somebody to do a song. I just don't want to get rejected. Yeah. You ask somebody to do a song with you, you're like, oh, they curve you or something, or, I feel really bad about that. But now, I'm more open, to the idea of, especially if it's somebody that I really respect. I wouldn't take it no type of way, because we be busy. People be busy. Sometimes, it's all about timing. Sometimes, if the opportunity presents itself, it's been people that I've been wanting to work with for years, and we haven't got a chance to work with each other, But for the most part, I feel like having that relationship and being friends with somebody, so just take that step and just getting to know somebody, and then the music will come out.
Or it could be like a T-Pain situation, when he didn't open his DMs for like years, and he had all those people waiting to collaborate with him, like, that's funny.
That's just old people not knowing how to use the internet. I open all my DMs. I see everything.
You said earlier you want to work with anyone that you're inspired by. So who are some newer artists that you're inspired by?
Before we started this tour, I was in the studio with Frost Children, looking to work with Jane Remover. She's actually here in the back. Underscores, Honey Gex, You know, just more getting to more of that world.
How do you organize your playlist then? Like,
I got a playlist called Bad Bitch. And every time I hear a song that I feel like deserves to be in the Bad Bitch playlist, I just add it to there. I'm up to like 150 songs now.
well, you definitely showed up like a bad bitch today.
Yeah, that's right.
It's showing. It's showing.
Who are the top bad bitches in hip hop?
I mean, a bad bitch don't necessarily have to be a female. A bad bitch is a lifestyle, not actually a gender. I think I'm the baddest bitch of them all.
Amen to that. The very first Danny Brown song I ever heard was Grown Up. I was getting ready to go to school, MTV Jams was playing, and I see this video of this little just badass kid rapping along. It was your voice that was obviously rapping along to the video, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what this shit is, but this is dope. So I just kind of always wanted to ask, man, like what was, because in the video, like the kid falls off the bike and like breaks his teeth. So I always wondered if like, was that the story of how you actually like got your gap?
Yeah, I broke my tooth on a bike. I took my homeboy bike. You know how you do that in the hood. You be like, let me ride your bike. He let me ride his bike. I was riding his bike. And I lived across the street from a KFC, so we used to ride through the KFC parking lot because it was like, you know, fun to do. But he was calling me like, give me my bike back, give me my bike back. And then I rode across the street without looking, and I got hit by, you remember those old, like 1992 IROCs by some drug dealers. And they put out a wad of money after. My mom was like, I don't want your money. She should have took that money because I wanted a Nintendo. I didn't get one till the next Christmas. But yeah, that's how I broke my tooth. But you know, that kid is actually grown as hell now. So he's actually was on that Tracy Morgan TV show, Dante Hoagland. Shout out Dante.
Shout out Dante. I also wanted to ask, like the whole point of that song though too is kind of like basically how like kind of growing up sucks. Like you should stay a kid, like try to stay a kid as long as you can.
Yeah.
So like, what are some ways that you stay in touch with your inner child?
I actually never grew up. I do the exact same things that I've done since a teenager, which is rap, buy clothes, and I used to smoke weed, but I don't smoke weed no more. I haven't done anything different. Like I say, I'm blessed to not able to have to do any manual labor. So music has saved my life, so I'm blessed, you know.
In your song, Ain't My Concern, like you said, like a moth in a flame, burn you
Yeah,
learn.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah. And what's some things that like burned you that you had to learn from recently?
No, I wouldn't say recently, but that song is talking about like just drug addiction. You start off getting high and drinking and all that. It's fun. It's fun, and people tell you like, you know, you can go down a dark path as much as you continue with it, and to the point where I was by myself just doing it. It wasn't a party no more. It was a way to escape from whatever I was going through, or not even escape, just having that dependency on it. And you know, you've seen people go down that route, but you always tell yourself it could never be me. And I got burnt, and I learned.
Do you have any mantras that you tell yourself, or like anything that you write down or draw ever that's positive that keeps you upbeat every day?
I wouldn't say, I don't know what it is, but every day I wake up in the morning, I hear a voice in my head that tells me I'm the greatest rapper ever. So I don't know. That's been happening since I was a teenager. But when I was deep into my addiction, I stopped hearing that voice, but he back now.
What are some things outside of music or art that inspire you?
Video games.
What are you playing now?
I mean, I play a lot of JRPGs. Right now I'm playing Baldur's Gate, but I think it's just sitting there for those long, you can play 100-hour games. And you know, you just sit there, and before you know it, it just come like muscle memory of what you're doing. And that's when like a lot of thoughts run to my head, or like I come up with a lot of bars or ideas and stuff like that. So I don't know if I can say like inspire me or nothing, but I know that's a lot of creative things happen when I'm just sitting there playing video games for hours.
Would you ever maybe create a video game on your own?
I always say that's something I want to do, but I got to learn that stuff is hard work. And when you put it into the air, it eventually comes back, and next thing you know, you having to deal with that. But so, nah, I'm happy just doing like voiceover work or making music for them. But to be actually, video games take like years and years to make and millions of dollars. So it's a lot of pressure, you know.
I think the video game industry makes more money than like
Everything.
Yeah.
Shit. But it costs a lot of money to produce them. So.
Are there any like older games that you wish that they would reboot or?
I think the crazy part about that, like you always want to play these older games, and then you go back and play them, and you realize how fucking hard they was. Yeah. Like some of these side scrollers from Nintendo days when I was a kid, and I'd be like, oh, I think I can beat that now. And then you play it, and you realize the mechanics of older doesn't mean it was better than what's going on right now. So no, I'm cool with the reboots. I actually seen they about to reboot Max Payne, so that's pretty cool. I'll play that.
Or how do you feel about reboots in general? Like,
I
even
think it's
with
dope,
movies?
especially with movies and yeah, because I feel like it's putting a younger generation onto something that they probably would have missed out on if they didn't do their homework and go back. So yeah, I think that's cool with certain classic stuff. Even albums, like like they did a remaster of Bowie album, and it sounds way better, So just stuff like that.
Your hair is very beautiful today.
Thank you.
What made you decide to go blonde?
Cause blondes have more fun.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Are you looking to go any other colors? Because I think a red would suit you.
I had red. I was red for a minute. I just changed with the seasons. It's about to be hot now, so. But I've been sticking with blonde for a long time because I just cut it real short. So then when it starts to grow back, it starts to look a little cooler. I think I'm sticking with blonde because I like that.
Or even like transforming your look with hair or just fashion, like, because I feel like hair is a big part of your personality too. Like, was it hard to transition to just like a buzz cut in your career?
I mean, it really started because I moved to Texas and I had those dreads and that shit got hot. And I was like, man, I was dying. I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I cut my hair off, but then I didn't look that cool no more. I just looked like a normal civilian. And I was like, hold up, man, I got to do something. So yeah, I started dyeing it. I'm starting to grow into it a little more. But I don't know. I think I might be stuck here for a minute just based on where I'm at. Because it's too hot in Texas to have hair, man.
I just wanted to ask about Bruiser Brigade. What's next for y'all?
I never really know, to be honest. I think it's all organic in some type of way. So we never really just like sit around and plan stuff. I know JUS is about to drop his album soon. Wolf's starting back recording. I just started recording my next album, so Fat Ray's pretty much almost done with his. Zaloopers, you never know what he's gonna do. He's always dropping
Wild
stuff.
card.
So everybody's just still working, just when it feels like it's ready or when they ready,
If the Bruiser Brigade was the basketball team, what would you feel like your position is?
I'd be the player coach because I feel like I wear both hats in some sense. Or maybe, I guess I would say the center. Whenever they missing shots, they can throw it in the post. I'm a dunk. Or I get the rebounds and put it back,
What do you remember about your 1833 show that you did at Bottom Lounge here?
I don't remember nothing past, it's over. Yeah, like I was probably drunk and I don't remember.
That's kind of like asking you what you ate for breakfast 10 years ago.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember, no.
How did it feel having a cameo with Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy? Oh, you talking about the 90 Day Fiancee?
Yeah.
I thought you talking about the other Soulja Boy. I was like, huh? That was fun, that was dope. I fucks with Soulja Boy.
Do you watch 90 Day Fiancé?
I was. The latest one's been kind of throwing me off a little bit, so I can't say I've been that tapped in, but that was like a COVID quarantine type of thing for me when I watched that a lot.
Do you like reality TV shows? Like, do you have a favorite?
I remember when it first started with like The Real World. I was a real big fan of The Real World and Road Rules and all that kind of stuff. But I would say no, I'm more into like mockumentaries type stuff,
What's your favorite movie?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite mockumentary would be a TV show called People Just Do Nothing. I would say my favorite movie, I don't really feel like I have a favorite movie.
Name top 3. No pressure.
I'm really more of a video game guy. Like, that's where I get that fix, more so than anything. But I guess, I can see a movie and I can be like, yo, that's a dope movie, but I don't watch it again, If I see like the Karate Kid on, I'll watch it,
It has a big replay value in your heart.
I mean, it's just like nostalgic purposes of being a kid, But yeah, I watch like a lot of like documentaries more than anything.
And your favorite video game is Dro ass?
Persona, the Persona series, yeah.
Before we wrap up, we also like to ask all of our guests, who are some real ones in your life that you want to shout out?
I would say my girl was a real one. She'd get mad if I didn't say that. And, my girl's a real one. My management, Dart Parker, my DJ, Skywalker, Bruiser Brigade, everybody.
I would like to leave you with a gift as a token of my appreciation.
Oh, thank you so much.
We love you so bad.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Time.
Thank you.
Definitely a bucket list interview, so I really appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.